Hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is episode 10 in my scary story series. In this video, I'm going to do two classic stories that you may have heard before. So pull your covers up tight and let's get right to it. Story number 1. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. When I was young, there was a story that my dad told me about a man who was driving home late one night and he spotted a girl on the side of the road, and she looked like she was lost. So he pulls over and lets down his window. The pretty girl was dressed in she had on a beautiful white dress and seemed to look at him with a surprised look. But then she smiled and he offered her a ride, and they struck up a interesting conversation, and then he dropped her off at her home. The next day, while driving to work, he notices that the girl by accident has forgotten her necklace. It has a small heart on it, and it looks to be one of those that has pictures inside. So immediately he drives toward her home to hand over the necklace. He knocks on the door. He rings the doorbell. Finally, an older lady opens the door, and he narrates the incident which occurred the night before and gives the lady the necklace. The lady looks at him, looks at the necklace, and says, "You must be mistaken." The man, he's surprised and questions the lady again. He's dumbstruck when the lady says her daughter died in a car accident a couple years before on that very road. Was it the ghost of the young girl coming back to make sure her mother got the necklace with their pictures inside? Or was it just a made-up story that my dad told me? You decide. Story number 2. Lover's Lane. When I was young, in my teenage years, my father told me a story about a teenage couple in the area that went to a deserted road back to a spot that was locally known as Lover's Lane. And they were sitting there in the dark, holding hands and talking as they listened to music on the radio. After a short while, the radio stops. An announcer comes on saying that a convicted serial killer had just escaped from an asylum nearby. He stated people are asked to report to police if they see a strange-looking man with a steel hook on one arm. The girl was immediately frightened, and as she looked out the window, things started moving. They were probably bushes or trees, but she was so scared, she asked the boy to take her home. The boy initially disagreed. He was trying hard to convince her to stay longer and talk and listen to music, but eventually he too was scared and took her home. When they arrived at the girl's house, the young man, being got out and walked around to her side of the car and opened the door. As he went around the car, he noticed something shining in the street light. Something was on the handle. As he got closer and closer, he noticed it was a steel hook hanging from the handle, and screamed. Was this just a made-up story to keep young people out of Lover's Lane? Or was it a real story? You decide.